settlements in the West Bank, with those who demolish homes in East Jerusalem, with those who evict citizens of their homes in East Jerusalem, and so on. Option number 3 is that there are roads in the West Bank today I cannot use as a Palestinian. Only Israelis can use. And this is shameless and shameful. Never in the darkest hour of South Africa's apartheid were blacks prevented to use roads that whites were using. And such diseases, mark my words, such diseases as racism and bigotry, once they inflict underneath our skin, we have tended to justify it. Sociologically, psychologically, economically, sexually, security, name it, it's there. But such despicable diseases as racism and bigotry, all of us can be inflicted. We can all be racist and then justify it. These are Israel's 3 options. My option is 1, 2 states on the 1967 borders. And I stand for this option. There's no other option. In the last negotiations we had with the Israelis, I'm sorry I did not bring the charts to put them in the projector, but I will share with you something I didn't share much. We advanced in our negotiations to the extent that maps were exchanged. This is the story of December 2008. That map is what the Israeli side offered. I hope that you can see the blue things on this map. This is the map of the West Bank and Gaza. West Bank and Gaza, including East Jerusalem, in terms of size, they stand at 6,258 square kilometers. That's the 22% of historic Palestine, which is almost 29,000 some square kilometers. Mr. Olmert asked to annex to Israel these areas of the West Bank, 6.5%. And he offered to give us back the brown areas to Gaza, to southern Hebron, North Bethlehem, Jerusalem, and Bisan, which is 5.8% of 1948 areas, and 0.7% will be the safe passage between the West Bank and Gaza. And he said he made this offer. I vouch for him. He made this offer. He did. And unfortunately, he says that we did not respond, that President Abbas did not respond to him. And that he's still waiting for the answer of President Abbas. Maybe I would refresh the memory of Mr. Olmert and tell him, Mr. Prime Minister, this was the counter offer of the Palestinian president. He was offered this map of an acceptance, Palestinian acceptance of accepting to swaps of 1.9%. The blue area is where the parts of the West Bank we are willing to give to Israel and to take back land in size and value. It's what we delineate here in red. So a counter offer was made. And then on December 18th, we went to Washington. We met with President Bush, Secretary Rice, and we told them these are the 2 maps that were exchanged. This is the concept that we have reached with Dr. Rice on 30th of July 2008 in the State Department. Was myself, Madam Livni, the Foreign Minister then of Israel, today the head of the Kadima party, and in which the baseline was identified in writing as the June 4th, 1967, and that the West Bank includes East Jerusalem, the River Jordan, the Dead Sea, 46 square kilometers of the no man's land, and the territorial linkage between the West Bank and Gaza. Then President Bush asked President Abbas to send someone to Washington on January 3rd, 2009, to lock in this agreement. And President Abbas told him, I will send Saeb Erekat on January 3rd. He called Prime Minister Olmert as we were having noon meeting with him, and he told him, I need you to send someone from Israel January 3rd to me here in the White House. President Abbas will send me Saeb Erekat. Please send me someone to try to lock in and preserve what you have achieved. And Prime Minister Olmert agreed and said, I will send Shalom Turjuman, my counterpart. Unfortunately, on December 27th, instead of preparing to go to Washington, the Israelis went to Gaza on a war. That's the truth of the story, and that's where we live the negotiations. And I wanted to demonstrate to you that negotiations have finished. It's done. We did not waste a single minute. All core issues, Jerusalem, borders, refugees, settlements, water, security, were discussed, and they are all doable. They are all doable. Israelis and Palestinians in the decision-making boxes, they know very well what I'm talking about when I say they are all doable. Now, Senator Mitchell came last year, 13 rounds. And he was doing a go-between Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Abbas. Indirect. Proximity. Call it whatever you want to call it. I went to Washington, New York, 11 times. I would land in Washington 2 hours after the departure of the Israeli delegation, or I would depart Washington 2 hours before the arrival of the Israeli delegation. Also, the Americans, Madam Clinton and Mr. Mitchell, were doing proximity between us and the Israelis. Till January 22nd, 2010, Mr. Mitchell came and he said to President Abbas, we want to begin proximity talks between you and the Israelis in order to find a solution to all core issues, including Jerusalem, borders, refugee settlement, etc. We were surprised. What were you doing in these 24 rounds that we had together? But nevertheless, we asked 3 questions, Senator Mitchell, because we thought that President Obama needs some foreign policy things, show achievements. Maybe he wants to use these talks as one of those. And we want to give President Obama a chance, because we do believe that it's his national interest to achieve a Palestinian state. And we asked him 3 questions, Senator Mitchell. Number 1, what will be the basis and references for these talks? Number 2, what will be the time frame? And number 3, if Mr. Netanyahu refuses to engage on the 2 states, on the 67 borders with agreed swaps, what will the United States be prepared to do? And we left Mitchell, we flew to Moscow. President Abbas asked President Medvedev about his advice on this offer and the questions we asked, and asking the support of Moscow, which we got. And then we flew to London to see Mr. Brown, Mr. Miliband, then to Berlin, Merkel, then to Sarkozy in Paris, Athens, Madrid, Brussels, Latin America, Asia. We have done a good job worldwide, because we want to give peace a chance. Peace is an interest of ours. Achieving the 2-state solution is an interest of ours. And then we got the backing on an unprecedented move by the Arab countries on 3rd